Hi, I'm Ronnie Cho here at Square One. Congrats, you decided to run for office. Now you're asking yourself, how do I start and build a campaign? Well, that depends on the office you're running for, your budget, your staff, the timeline, what you need in order to get your name on the ballot. All of that factors in on the kind of office that you're running for and the kind of change that you want to impact. One of the major barriers to running for office as a non-traditional candidate, whether you're a woman, person of color, an LGBTQ person, is that you're not the most obvious choice, mostly because we've had a certain kind of person who's had these positions before. And so you're challenging a norm, you're challenging a status quo, and those are some of the most difficult things to do. And while there are challenges to being a non-traditional candidate, there's incredible opportunity. There are countless donors, volunteers, supporters, voters who are excited to see someone like you run for office, to reflect their point of view, their lived experience, their challenges, in ways that they haven't been offered this kind of leadership before. So you've decided to run for office, you've made the jump, you're making the introductions, you're having the coffees, and now it's launch day. You gotta think about how you're gonna publicly announce your intent to run for office. There are a few things to consider. One of the main things is the first thing someone sees when they read your name is they're gonna look it up online, they're gonna Google you. You have to have a website, a place they can get some information, the most critical information that you can think of. So who you are, a photo of you, the things that you're working on, a little bit about your experience, and ways to donate and ways to be involved in the campaign. The other thing you want to think about is also having a video that introduces you, tells a story about why you're running, who you are, and why you're the best person to address the issues in your community. The other thing to think about is whether or not you want to have an event. I think about campaigns, we think about big rallies and signs and red, white, and blue everywhere. That might not be the best thing for you. It might be a good opportunity to get some earned media, but it may not also be the best way for you to open up and present yourself to the public for the very first time. So you've announced your launch date, you've had this event, you've got this great website, you're still not finished. Depending on the office you're running for, you may need to file some paperwork. So in order to be legally allowed to raise money, in order to legally be on the ballot itself. You know, throughout our history, there have been many extraordinary leaders, many of which were not always the obvious choice. And I think about my personal hero, Barack Obama, was not the front runner when he decided to run. He ended up being exactly what people were looking for. And so as you're thinking about running, recognize that the decision to do so, to answer the call to public service, which is the most, I think, important calling that we have, that you are enough. And that just because there hasn't been someone like you in the past, doesn't mean you can't be the first. And if you become the first, make sure that you're not the last.